Hello there, Aries. Welcome to your May 2017 spiritual guidance reading. The first piece of information that came out here is they're saying pretty much, you live your own life and do not compare yourself with what other people are doing, okay? Don't compare your life with another person that might be in the same age group, in the same profession, in the same, relationship, like similar relationship, etc. So it's all about, everybody's life is going to be different. And so if we're projecting and we're, trying to figure out at 30, I want to do this. At 40, I want to have this. At 50, I want this to be in my life. I feel that it's nice to set these goals, but it's also can be very constraining as well, okay? And especially if you're setting your goals, pegging your goals to another person, and especially if you're comparing yourself where you are timeline wise with another person that might be that you feel is very successful or they have all these things going for them, it would be very detrimental for you to do that, okay? So the first thing that came out essentially is you need to live your life your own way. The second message that I feel for some of you is this, and it keeps going back to relationship, and I try to make these a lot more general, but it keeps going back to relationships and why it happened the way that it did, okay? I feel that a lot of you are mourning the loss of somebody. So there's still this mourning period. So we have here the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups, I feel that in this situation, some of you are not really sure you did the right thing. And some of you wish for a second chance. And you're just like, if I had done this, if the other person had done this, it would have worked out. And I feel that, you're not somebody that really doubts yourself often. You're very directed with your energy. You know what needs to be done and you get to it, okay? So that means even making the hard decision. But I feel that this is an emotional decision. And when overall, across the board with everybody, when it's an emotional decision, we don't always act rationally. We don't always filter it out through logic. We think about, emotionally, what could I have done differently? Was that the best outcome? What could the other person have done something differently? And could we have achieved the best outcome together? So there's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of what ifs. There is enough like accepting the situation, okay? And I feel that some of you have a very, very long-standing karmic relationship with another person. And I feel that it was long-standing. It was very tumultuous. It was very emotionally deeply rooted. And the relationship itself was all about security. So here's what I feel. I feel that for some of you, the security comes through the fact that you like the way that you look with the other person in public, okay? So it could be like an ego gratifying type of relationship where you both might be seen as the power couple, or you just, you might be very attracted to the other person. They likewise are very attracted to you. So the relationship really boosts your self-esteem. And you identify so strongly with that relationship, your sense of self-worth, your security was pegged on that relationship. And with the relationship no longer being in the picture, you might have this a little bit of an identity crisis, a little bit of a self-esteem dip, and you're trying to find your footing. And then for others of you, there were promises, great promises made in this relationship, and you held that person in high esteem. And so you were waiting for the promises, and the promises, for whatever reason, there was a separation, and I feel that the person never held up their end of the bargain. And so your sense of security, you put your life on hold. You try to build wealth together with the other person. And you felt that, it was going to go the distance. It was going to be the one. It was going to provide you with that, that coming home, that end of the road, happily ever after. And it didn't pan out. And because your future was pegged on that person, Now you're going through a period of withdrawal where you're trying to figure out, where do I stand now? What do I do now? So I feel there's still a lot of, I'm sensing, sadness and grief. For some of you, this might not even be recent, but I feel that there's this sense of like, what do I do now? Who am I now? And so there's a lot of reassessment happening here. And I feel the reassessment is not entirely healthy because, you are your own person, right? And so because you're your own person that is no longer in your life should not detract you from who you are, who you have always been originally. So it's almost like a false sense of like, it's like an identity crisis, but I do feel that in a way, it's forcing you to rebuild. It's forcing you to, figure out, get to the fundamentals of who you are as a person first. Before this person came into the picture, who are you innately? And how has they chipped away at who you are? How has, that relationship, that karmic relationship, how has it really affected you? So you can look at it as, did I grow a lot from the relationship? Because I feel like a lot of you have grown. It really stretched your ability to love. And because you really love that person, you were emotionally wrapped up. And that's when I mean, like, we tend to lose ourselves. And then for others of you, I feel that regardless, no matter what you think about that relationship, there was a lot of growth as an individual. You grew a lot in that relationship. And I feel like you grew for the better. And so take it in strides because, we encounter other people so that we can grow, so that we can become the best person that we can be in this lifetime. Okay. And also relationships as well prepare us for the person that we're meant to be with. And so I feel that releasing that person, I feel some of you have done it physically. You had to, they're no longer in the picture. Others of you, you're still dealing with some resentment. And for those of you still dealing with the resentment, I want you to really understand, okay? The person you were dealing with was very, very stubborn. And the resentment that you're feeling as well, it might be the fact that they didn't love me enough to change their point of view. And it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. The person that you're dealing with, they're an individual. And they have security issues that they needed to take care of on their own. So it has nothing to do with how much they love you. It has nothing to do with that. Okay? And I feel that you want to let go of this resentment because I feel that a lot of you put your life on hold. You've made sacrifices. And when this person left the picture, it just felt very, it just felt very blasé. It just felt almost like, the rug ripped out from under you, right? And you're still trying to find your footing. You're still trying to make sense of it. You're still dealing with some type of internal conflict here with the Five of Wands. And there's still some reshuffling. The energy is not settled yet. Coming through for the month of May, one of the major advice that I can give you here is, this is your card. Okay, so this is the Emperor. A lot of the times, this card basically reminds us some hard decisions need to be made because it's the right thing, okay? It's made not from the heart, but from a place of logic. And it's made because it's the right thing to do. So it has nothing to do with love. It has nothing to do with, our sense of identity merging with another person. The decision needed to be made because the relationship was stagnant. You're not growing from it anymore. And so it needed to be weaned out of your life. So these hard decisions, I feel that you're dealing with somebody who's very stubborn and you can't really convince them. And in the process of them not bending to your will, you feel that they never loved me. It has nothing to do with that, okay? It has nothing to do, don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with emotions. It's a logical decision and it provides the best outcome for everybody involved, okay? So Aries, please get through this and keep this in mind, okay? The message, all right? I do wish you all the best, and I hope that, the rest of this month, a lot more clarity will come through for you guys, okay? Take care of yourself, Aries. Bye-bye.